On April 30th, 1943, U-960 slipped out of her protective concrete U-boat pen, following a large 7,000-ton minesweeper that would lead us through these infested waters. It felt great to be at sea once more. It did not take long behind a desk before it was apparent to everyone that I would be heading back to sea. It turns out pushing papers and stamping papers was a waste of my talents, especially as the Battle of the Atlantic is reaching a new, deadly phase. Despite losing my last boat, U-375 in the Mediterranean, I was given a new command. I received my papers informing me that I, Eric Bachman, was to take command of U-960, a Type 7C U-boat. This boat was very similar to U-375, but it had some slight enhancements. One of those is a brand new conning tower that packs quite an offensive punch. Two 2cm anti-aircraft guns and one quad 2cm anti-aircraft gun are mounted to fend off Allied aircraft that are getting only more persistent and deadly. These anti-aircraft mounts offer some sense of protection from our airborne nemesis, but it's mostly psychological. I have little to no confidence that we will be able to make a proper stand against a short Sunderland or, God forbid, Typhoons. I remember the Typhoons launching salvos of rockets at U-375 like it was yesterday. There's no defending from that. I was ordered to arrive to Saint-Nazaire, one of the French Atlantic ports. The new crew and I would set sail on April 30th, 1943. I boarded a train from Kiel and began the long journey by rail. The travel was slow, no thanks to Allied bombing raids, but I arrived a week before our departure date to oversee the final preparations and get acquainted with the new crew, many of which were incredibly green. The minesweepers steadily plowed ahead at a speed of 7 knots. Behind us, the port got smaller and smaller when disaster struck. Air raid sirens screeched over the water, and flat guns began opening up at a tremendous rate. Flying fortresses were coming in. A large group of aircraft were spotted heading towards Saint-Nazaire. AA guns ripped open as the bombers made their attack runs, hitting the U-boat pins and multiple ships undergoing repairs. The bombers made their run and continued onward towards U-960 and the minesweeper. The flat guns were manned and the crew eagerly opened fire. 50 caliber machine gun fire came in from the bombers as the deafening roar of our anti-aircraft guns let out a steady stream of ammunition towards our foe. We managed to bring down one of the flying fortresses. It crashed maybe 300 meters away from the boat. The rest of the bombers continued on their course, away from us. Some of the bombers were streaming fuel, some had burning engines. The port seemed to be in absolute disarray, fires billowing over the horizon. The bridge crew was ecstatic though, cheering and saying the Luftwaffe would come in and shoot the rest of the bombers down. I knew better. 20 kilometers into the Bay of Biscay, the minesweeper commenced her turn back to port and left us. U-960 was on her own now. The diesel engines hammered away at full speed as the boat headed southwest towards deeper waters. The Bay of Biscay is a known death trap, and the Biscay Cross, our only protection of it, is reportedly having issues picking up Allied radar. My goal is to get out of these waters as quickly as possible, no matter how much fuel it may burn up. By May 1st, U-960 was in deep waters and her patrol was well underway. On the horizon, a large storm system was spotted and storm clouds rapidly rolled in, with thunder crackling across the empty sea. As I looked out at the light show, I could not help but think this was an ominous sign for what is to come. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome back to Silent Hunter 3 as we begin a brand new series, this time utilizing the brand new Grey Wolves expansion Knights Cross Edition Mega Mod. We are standing on the bridge of U-960, a Type 7C U-boat, and we are armed to the teeth with anti-aircraft guns back there. You can see the two 2-centimeter guns up on the top deck, and then down below we have that quad 2-centimeter gun, which will certainly pack a punch if we are attacked by allied aircraft out here in the Bay of Biscay. Typically the Bay of Biscay is quite a dangerous place to be, but we've been doing just fine recently. I think one thing that is really helping with that is all these storm clouds we see above us and that lightning out there. I do anticipate it is going to rain soon, making air operations for the allies out of the UK probably a little difficult, so I'm not extremely worried. We also have our radar warning receiver here, the Biscay Cross. The crew are rotating that manually, checking to see if any radar emissions are out there. So far, nada. Now, as I stand on the bridge here, it does seem like the waves are getting choppier and choppier, and also think that lightning is starting to pick up. Let's bring up the UI, and you can see the overhauled UI here with GWX Knights Cross. I am going to ask for a weather report. Let's see what's happening. Overcast, no precipitation yet, visibility moderate, wind speed 7 meters per second coming from the south. Okay, good to know. All very good information to know. We are going to do a hydrophone check and also take a look at the map and preview our orders. Let's dive the boat down to, well, let's get depth under keel here real fast. Over 1,000 meters, we are good. Okay, drop the boat down to 60 meters. Down we go.
Derzeitige Tiefe 1,0.
Here we are in the command room. U-960 is passing 20 meters now. Let's reduce our speed. Can also open up the hatches. Perfect. Down we go. Down to 60 meters, we are going to do a quick hydrophone check and make sure the pipes are nice and tight. Let's go over to the crew management here. We can see our crew all laid out. The electric motor room is full. Everyone's doing their jobs nicely. Who do we have on the hydrophone? We have Kaarel Krustas here. And then we are going to get our other hydrophone or radio man in the radio position. How about that? Okay, passing 31 meters. Now, GWX Knights Cross does add a massive slew of changes to Silent Hunter 3. Some of the really big flagship changes we've already seen, like the new U-boat models and the new UI. This mod also prides itself on being incredibly stable. They tried their best to remove as much bloat from Silent Hunter 3 as possible, and it seems they have done a fantastic job. The crashes for me have been essentially non-existent, and when I have had crashes in the game, it's been my fault. That all being said, this series will probably show off a lot of what this mod has to offer, and we will see if our hydrophone operator will pick anything up down here. It doesn't look like he's hearing anything. Let's manually check ourselves. Not hearing much. Just hearing our own electric motors. Of course, those get quite loud at 180. Yeah, just hearing our own screws. Thought I heard something off the 350. Nope. That's not the case. Okay, we got nothing. Well, I think it's time to plot a proper course to our patrol area.
BDU seems to have it out for us already. It is our first patrol back. They really want to test our mettle. Let's take a look at our orders. We need to reach grid AE89 and patrol that particular grid for 24 hours. Grid AE is way up here, and grid 89 just right here between Iceland and the UK. You can see we are kind of going the wrong way about, mostly because I want to avoid as much allied air cover as I possibly can. We do not want to get too close to the United Kingdom. We bring up the convoy route map, we can see allied air cover here. This orange circle is probably 1942 air cover, and this yellow circle is probably where we are at now. Yeah, 1943. And you can see the Allies have really blocked off most of the North Atlantic at this time. We do have the Black Gap where we can go and patrol if needed, but yeah, it's going to be pretty darn risky patrolling here. Does look like the northwest corner might be out of range of some smaller aircraft. That is possible, but we'll see what we can do here. Not too many convoy routes here. So once we finish patrolling here, we'll probably head down to grid AK or AL and search for some of those North Atlantic convoys. One thing I do want to do this series is also move up and try to engage some of these northern convoys, some of the Arctic convoys. That would be quite interesting to do. Well, let's surface the boat. Keep on moving out. We can also see the commander's log here. Again, all of the UI elements have been overhauled and look fantastic. We can see our torpedo situation. We have a unique set of torpedoes for this patrol, thanks to BDU. We do have some fat torpedoes, which have different types of search patterns. This one has a ladder search pattern, so we can just fire this off into a convoy and see what happens. And we also have a fat one, which can also conduct a search pattern. The T1 fat one is a G7A torpedo, so it leaves a bubble trail on the surface. That is easily going to be spotted by allied bridge crews, so that is something to keep in mind. We probably want to fire this at night. But this torpedo does have a range of 12.5 kilometers. It also is seemingly limited to a speed of 30 knots, which is relatively slow compared to some of the other G7A torpedoes, which we might have. Yeah, we have one of them. We do have one, just a couple of G7A torpedoes down there in reserve. Well, U960 is going to surface. We'll continue onward, and I'll keep you all updated if we happen to find the enemy. We are reaching our patrol grid, and we have just established hydrophone contact on something way, way out there. Let's go over to the hydrophone and take a listen. They were off to 080 degrees. Hear that? Crank the volume all the way up. Sounds large. That's definitely a destroyer. From 070 all the way to 090. Possibly a convoy. Could be a hunter-killer group, though. We do need to keep that in mind. They are way, way out there. We are going to mark it 080 here. And they are far. About there. Okay. We are going to come to
Jawohl, Herr
attack scope
Kaloin.
depth
Kleine
and
Fahrt
slowly
voraus.
start moving here. Okay, we're on the move up scope. You can actually use the UI elements to raise the scope. This is the attack scope UI. And you can see the picture's a little dark. We are utilizing the attack periscope. It has a smaller aperture, so it lets in relatively little light compared to the night scope or the observation scope.
And GWX Knight's Cross actually tries to simulate this particular aspect of the attack scope.
And our friends that we just heard are off to 080. We are going to make our new heading essentially 180, 170.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Neuer
That should be
Kurs,
good.
169.
All right, down scope. Let's increase
Jawohl, Herr
speed.
Kaloin.
Surface the boat.
Große Fahrt voraus.
We'll do a hydrophone check here in probably 10 or so minutes. We have spotted a ship
Jawohl, Herr
way
Kaloin.
out there on the horizon. Let's go to the Uzo. There she is. Frigate. It kind of looks like a Buckley class destroyer escort or something similar. Anything else spotted? No, just a single ship. She is turning to port. Let's change
Jawohl,
course.
Herr Kaloin.
New heading 090. We are
Neuer
currently
Kurs,
moving at
122.
flank
Jawohl, Herr
speed.
Kaloin. Neuer Kurs, 88.
Not picking up any radar signals. That's a good sign. Very good sign. Okay, she is heading towards us now. Anything else out there? It doesn't look... Okay, wait a second. There's our Buckley. There's something. Another destroyer. 107. Two destroyers out here. Not a fan. There's something there. 100. Is that a merchant ship? That might be a merchant ship. Hard to tell, or it could just be a very large destroyer. I'm assuming they are heading northeast. We are playing without map contact updates in this campaign. Okay, let's slow down, slow down.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
That does
Ein
look like a
Drittel
merchant
Fahrt
ship.
voraus.
And it kind of looks like... Okay, they may be sailing a different direction than anticipated. New heading
Jawohl, Herr
180.
Kaloin. Neuer Kurs, 180.
Let's turn back around. The sun is setting. It gives us a pretty good opportunity, and the fact that we're not picking up radar signals is also very, very nice. Okay, adjust course. That does look like some sort of tanker, perhaps? Another destroyer escort in the lead. 4 ships spotted. Or maintain current orders. 032 long
Schiff
range.
gesichtet.
Okay, he spotted it. Thank you, thank you. Glad you finally see that thing.
Schiff gesichtet.
Okay. We are going to go alongside them
Schiff
for
gesichtet. Lage
some
3-2.
time here.
Große Entfernung.
See how fast they are actually going here. And we'll try to plot a proper course. Do a quick scan again, make sure nothing else is out here. It's just the 3 of us. 2 frigates, 1 merchant ship. I think that is all we are actually dealing with. This guy's concerning. We definitely want to wait. Okay, wait, 2 merchants. Am I... Okay. I don't know how I'm missing these guys. We have 2 merchant ships here. Interesting. Okay. keep adjusting our course here. Let's try to match their course.
Jawohl, Herr
220.
Kaloin. Neuer Kurs 219.
Schiff gesichtet.
2 merchants.
Schiff gesichtet.
2 warships. Great. We are starting to spot more and more masts over the horizon out there. I think we have a convoy on our hands, folks. I think that is what we are dealing with, a full-blown convoy. They seem to be heading pretty much to the west here. And they're probably way out there. Let's get a proper range to target, please. 276 degrees range, 16,000. And they are 16 kilometers out. Let's see, 267 right about here. Okay, let's just draw that line first. And then we will get a proper one. 16. Yeah, they're way, way out there, huh? Okay, 16. So they are right about here. Mark. And I believe they are just heading west, but we will continue to plot here. We're moving at 10 knots here. I want to see if I'm going to start overtaking them. Yeah, more ships appearing. Good, we caught them at a perfect time as well, just as the sun is setting. I suppose I could just try to maintain contact at this point and run out in front of them. Yep, let's do that. All
Jawohl,
ahead
Herr
flank.
Kaloin. Wahnsinnige Fahrt voraus.
Try to run out in front of these guys before the sun sets so I can keep tabs on them at a distance. What do I have loaded? G7Es, 1 T1. We'll just blast that off into the convoy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, fantastic. Aircraft has been spotted. 066.
Jawohl,
Emergency
Herr Kaloin.
dive. Crash dive. Crap. Catalina. U960 is dropping down. It was a Catalina spotted.
Derzeitige Tiefe
3-0.
Passing 30. Good. Okay. Go down to 60.
4-0.
Let's see if any depth charges are dropped upon us. Hatches are secured.
Derzeitige Tiefe
5-0.
Kontakt.
Okay,
Kriegsschiff.
moving slow, constant distance.
278.
Good.
Große Entfernung.
Derzeitige Tiefe
6-0.
Hopefully that Catalina didn't see us. Medtox picked up nothing. Oh, it's possible they weren't utilizing radar. Slow down.
7-0. Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Now we wait and see if they drop depth charges on us. We are getting more contact reports here that they're just constant distance out here, probably on the same course as us. If I had to wager a
Kontakt.
guess here.
Frachter. Entfernung gleichbleibend. Auf 283. Große Entfernung.
So we are going to mark it as so. 240 degrees. Let's just plot that for the time being. 240. Heading down this way. Okay. We'll have to surface here momentarily. We're going to continue to track them. Lots of merchant ships. This absolutely is a convoy. Let's switch our gauges to night mode. They're not as bright, not as blinding. Let's come up to
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
observation scope depth, please.
Seerohrtiefe.
No depth charges were dropped. I don't think that Catalina spotted us, which is very good. We are at Periscope depth. Let's raise the observation scope. Take a look here. Should be off 270, right? Yep. Okay, there they are. There they are. Oh, yeah. Look at all of them. 290. Okay, let's search for that airplane. I see anything? Okay, not seeing anything. No aircraft, nothing like that. Let's take a look at the warships again. And there they all are. One of them anyway. That's probably the leading element. It looks like there's a pretty big gap. Or we may be able to slip in here and cause some serious damage to this convoy. One thing I could do is fire a torpedo off, but we need to report this off to BDU. Okay, let's stay submerged. It's 21:29 now. Let's stay submerged for another 10 minutes. Then we will surface the boat and continue the chase.
Große Entfernung.
We did another search with the observation scope. No aircraft have been spotted. U-960 is surfacing. We will continue the chase. We have hit the surface, all ahead flank.
Voraus.
Check batteries. Okay, we've used a little bit of our batteries, not too much.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Standard
Normaler
propulsion,
Antrieb.
please. Good. Is that a searchlight out there? Hard to tell. I don't think so. One of the destroyers. Penetrating this escort screen is going to be difficult. Buckley class is quite capable. Quite intimidating. Let me get a range to target.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Wow, 12 kilometers away. Quite close. Let's adjust our course
Jawohl, Herr
slightly.
Kaloin.
I'd like to
Neuer
put a little
Kurs,
bit more distance between us.
255.
That warship's turning. It is possible this is just routine. It looks like she is continuing her turn to starboard. Still not a
Jawohl, Herr
fan.
Kaloin.
Adjust our course a
Neuer
little bit
Kurs,
more.
284.
We are going to try to shoot a radio message off to BDU here and see if we can get a Wolfpack to show up. This is a feature we weren't really able to utilize in the med, but we are going to try and do it now. I'm assuming the convoy's moving at a speed of around 7 knots. Their course is about 240, if I had to take a guess there. So let's set that. Let's take a look through the Uzo. Let me see. You lock onto that target. Report. We are continuing to run parallel to the convoy. I did shoot off a contact report.
Schiff gesichtet.
Hopefully, BDU will have us stalk this convoy and
Schiff
more
gesichtet.
U-boats will be sent to help engage it. This is a feature I haven't been able to show off in the Mediterranean, for example, but out here, you can form wolf packs. Let's take a look. We did just send a contact report here. I estimated its speed and their course 257. That's not exactly what I wanted here. I guess it did adjust a bit, unfortunately. I wanted 240. That's roughly what I think their course is, but we will send continuous updates. A lot of the ships are starting to fade into the fog. The closest vessel is that destroyer escort right there off to 255 degrees. She is about 11 kilometers away, give or take. There's a couple of escorts back there as well. It is 22:11. The sun is starting to really fade here, which is good. We want it to be pitch black whenever we attack
Schiff
this
gesichtet.
convoy. That is going to be our best bet. We will wait and see, though, what BDU has in store for us. It is 22:51. The sun has set. BDU has yet to get back to us. We are going to wait for their report. We are keeping tabs on the convoy. We still got them way out there. The 2, 3, 4. Some just smudges. Smudges way out there. Not picking up much. I don't even see the leading escorts. We are pretty far in front of the convoy. We're at the convoy's maybe 1 to 2 o'clock position at this point. In a pretty good spot. Hopefully we can thread through some of these destroyer escorts and get into the middle of the convoy. We are going to wait for BDU to respond to us, though. Seems like they've left us on red at the moment, but there's a destroyer escort out there. And see, the Uzo doesn't have a zoom capability, so it's pretty difficult to see too much out there.
We are continuing to operate in front of the convoy. We've actually crossed their path, unfortunately, so we do need to turn back in here momentarily. We did just get a report from BDU. We did send in a contact report. I was waiting for confirmation to go in and attack, and they did say attack at your discretion. They did get to us, you can see, a couple of hours later. Almost 3 hours later, but they did get back to us. We still have the enemy convoy in sight way out there. Let's get a report, please. Okay, 157, range 10,000. Okay, we are going to begin changing course here. Let's start coming around a little bit. Pretty much want to do almost a 180 here. Yeah, that looks good. We will start plotting more. I do think the convoy has zagged. They zigzagged a little bit because now they are positioned right around here. Still heading to 40. So I do think they made a course change and have moderately adjusted. Hard to tell. Very difficult to tell. U960 is turning into the convoy. I can see them way out there. Yeah, way out there. I'm not seeing any of the warships. That might be a warship right there. I bet we are tracking. The nearest contact has to be a warship off the 028. Yep, that is definitely it. Very difficult to see. It is a moonless night. Incredibly dark, but a good night for us to attack. Let's change course a bit, increase speed. 13 knots. This is going to be an underwater torpedo attack, I do believe. Want to try to avoid being picked up on radar, if at all possible. I think I did see some very large tankers in the convoy. I don't want to be too picky about it, but those are certainly priority targets for us. I'm continuing to look at our convoy here, and the more I look at them, the more I think we have caught them in a turn. There are some ships lagging behind back way out there off to 050. But it does look like they're turning to starboard because their angle on bow is kind of extreme, I'm thinking. Let's get another... Where's the nearest contact? Hey, 040. Yeah, that destroyer there. Let's increase speed, try to get out in front of them. Yeah, because we're alongside them now. They've changed course, they're heading north now. I'm 90% confident. Which complicates things for sure, but this looks like a flanking destroyer. I'm going to try to do some plotting here. We have our contact off the 041. Range is 7.5. She is right there. Presumably, they seem to be kind of heading off in this direction. We'll continue. Let's turn a little bit. I'll head flank.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Wahnsinnige Fahrt voraus.
Just trying to move around and see what the heck's going on. This was a lot easier when they were just a little massed over the horizon and it wasn't dark. I'm afraid of getting too close. We were 7 kilometers away from the destroyer. Yeah, but it looks like I'm almost running parallel to some of these freighters way out there. And this is the guy we're tracking. This guy's pretty close. So if this is the warship's position, the convoy is probably quite a bit further back. She does seem to be pretty far out there compared to the rest of the convoy. She's not patrolling too close to the merchant ships. What time is it? 1 o'clock in the morning. We do have some nighttime to continue playing with. Curious what these ships lagging behind are. They've definitely made a course change to the north, though. No doubt about it. I think I nearly guessed their course almost exactly here. What are we working with? We just took another reading of that warship. Okay. Bam. They are heading pretty much 300 degrees, huh? Interesting course change. Quite drastic, but makes sense. Okay, good to know. Let's clean that up, for example. And remark this 300. Good enough for me, and that is the escort. Let's match that. New heading 300. Make sure we're perfect. Continue at flank speed. Let's move around them. I am going to go ahead and report this course change over to BDU. Let's plug it in 300. So right about there. Speed still leaning towards 7 knots. Let's take a look through the Uzo. Nearest contact, please.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
127. 127. 127, excuse me? Okay. There we go, got him.
Schiff
Destroyer
gesichtet.
escort. Let's
Schiff
send a contact report off to BDU. There we go. Good. Now they have an updated course on this convoy. We are going to continue to press the attack, though. It does seem like we are already overshooting large elements of the convoy. We should be in position to attack here in about an hour and a half. We are starting to cut into the convoy now. We are out in front of them. Let's find the nearest contact, please. Where is it?
Schiff gesichtet.
They're pretty far out there. 9 kilometers out, as you can read.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Come on, give me... Okay, 141. 141, there it is. Okay, but behind that warship, we have rows of merchant ships. Let's adjust course even more here. You're heading 030. Swing around. We'll start turning into them here, and hopefully we'll try to pick a lane between some of these escorts before we submerge. It's going to be tricky. We lose all of our maneuverability when we submerge the boat. We want to kind of try to get into position as best we can on the surface. The problem is radar and such. Thought I was seeing stuff way out here. Yeah, look, there's stuff off to 060 too. This is a large. This convoy is freaking massive.
Schiff
This
gesichtet.
thing is huge. Okay, I have sight on one of the warships, nice and close, but the rest of the convoy is pretty far back there. I'm thinking of, let's turn in a bit more. New heading 090. Yeah.
Schiff gesichtet. Lage 91.
This is the position of that warship. That destroyer. She's right here now. Maybe not as much. I'm wondering if she is the leading element now. It's so hard to see if that is the leading escort or one of the flanking ones. Just gotta keep sussing this all out. Yeah, that's a destroyer right there. That's probably the closest one. Coming straight at us, it feels like. I'm not seeing another destroyer. Ship spotted, okay. There's one out there. Yeah, this is a leading warship. She is zigzagging about at the moment.
Schiff gesichtet.
Okay. Yes, I would like to adjust course just a little
Jawohl,
bit.
Herr Kaloi.
090.
Neuer Kurs 90.
Schiff gesichtet.
There she is. All her glory. As a Buckley class, we need to get ready to dive.
Schiff gesichtet.
Begin reducing
Jawohl, Herr
speed.
Kaloi. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Okay. Oh man. This is nerve-wracking.
Schiff gesichtet.
We are in between these two lanes here. And Buckley's kind of heading away. Just one shadow. Moving across our binoculars, going left, right. Range to
Schiff
target.
gesichtet.
I'm
Schiff
worried the
gesichtet.
second we start detecting radar signals, they've probably already seen us. Let's see.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Or they don't have
Schiff
radar,
gesichtet.
which is
Lage
possible,
drei.
but would be
Große Entfernung.
surprising. Okay, 550. Alright, periscope down.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Down to PD, please.
Seerohrtiefe.
Vorne unten 15, hinten 10.
U-960 is submerged and is now ready for her first attack. Let's reduce speed 2
Jawohl,
knots.
Herr Kaloi.
Derzeitige Fahrt
1.
Knoten.
Night scope depth. Raise it. Okay, scope is up. Hydrophone operator. I'd like you to track the nearest warship. No sound contact, great.
Kontakt. Frachter. Kommt näher. Auf 3-1.
031. Okay, picking up all of those merchant ships. That right there, that's the destroyer. She is just zigzagging around. She's really moving fast. Downscope. She's zigzagging around, just doing her normal search. She is just zigzagging around doing her normal search. Hopefully, we are able to get in nice and slow. It's going to take a while, but we might have this in the bag, folks. Okay, the reports are starting to change regarding our warship friend who's nice and close. Let's go to the observation scope. Raise it. 050. Moving fast, moving away. Okay. Maybe she's done with her little search. Oh my gosh, we're in luck. She's turned around. Don't tell me the whole convoy's changing course, though. Oh my goodness. The convoy might be changing course. Very difficult to see. Let's change course.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi. Neuer Kurs 151.
I think they're turning again. They're zigzagging. But I think it might be just a minor adjustment. I think we might be able to still get in here. Yeah, angle on bow's definitely, it's like 30 degrees to starboard at this point. They've made a course change. Let's increase speed. We're in that destroyer's wake now. She's not going to hear us. She's hauling. It's the complete opposite way. Okay, I'm looking at these guys. I'm fully convinced they have made a minor course adjustment. That being said, yeah, they have changed course. They're heading back on possibly 240 once again. Regardless, I think we're in a position to still attack. This is salvageable. I have a couple of, I think, large ships here. And there's a row in the convoy. To get quite a bit closer, we're going to pull off a proper attack. Destroyer escort right there. I think that's the closest destroyer escort. She is still moving pretty quickly. We're moving at 3 knots. Yeah, I think we're in this. I think we're still in this. I'm wondering what the heck these things are. Cargo ships way out there. We have a warship directly in front of us. We are going to take a look real fast. Okay, see stars right in front. There she is. Hello, hello, hello. That definitely looks like a Buckley class to me. Destroyer escort. Personally, one of my favorite destroyer escorts. It could be also an Everts. No. Buckley class? Maybe it isn't a Buckley. Buckley only has 1 gun forward. Probably an Everts. Well, I'm not seeing the gun mounts, but that looks right. Okay, 1,000 tonner. Not worth shooting at all. Top speed 19 knots. Can just barely outrun us on the surface. I can't see the mast. The mast goes pretty darn high, doesn't it? But I'm going to guess 40 to 50. Center radiance. We're going to go to the range table. We'll do 50. The target's height. Moving slow, constant distance. Okay. The target's height is 30 meters. We are zoomed in. She is 2.2 kilometers out. Still pretty far away. Still pretty far, but within torpedo range. We're going to maintain this course. I want to stay, just bow on to the target for the time being. They say she's moving slow, but I see one hell of a wake being put up there. Alright, just let them pass. Let's do a quick scan. That's a merchant. We're in. There's warships off to 300, I believe. What time is it? 2 o'clock in the morning.
Kontakt, Frachter, kommt näher auf 315. Große Entfernung.
The warship has passed in front of us. She has no idea we're here. We're in. Let's find a nice target. That's a good target. C3 right in front. Another C3 possibly. This looks interesting. Tanker. Yes, that is what I want to take a look at. Tankers. Look through the ship recognition manual. Now, all the ships in GWX Knight's Cross have been overhauled. So they're less performance demanding for the game. And frankly, all look really good and all look consistent, which is also very important. Okay, Coastal Merchant, Empire. No, funnels in the rear here. I can't see much, but I can see that. No. Coal barge, definitely not. Not out here in the North Atlantic, that's for sure. Okay, we gotta keep flipping through. I definitely just went right past it. Let's see here. Okay, liners, yep. Crude tanker, fleet tanker, large tanker, 7,000 tonner. Okay, recognize it. And then we also know there's lots of C3 cargoes, I think, C2 cargoes as well. Let's ID that one as such. I mean, a lot of these American vessels are going to start looking the same. This thing looks pretty large. I can't make out much of it. being reported as a cargo vessel. We don't really need to go through all this rigmarole at this point. One thing we do want to do is try to establish target speed, which we have some time. Actually, matter of fact, hard to starboard.
Ruder hart Steuerbord.
What is this? Medium cargo. Good enough. Coming right. We need to align to the right anyway. I do like how large that target is. The problem is we only have a limited number of torpedoes here. Rudder amidships.
Ruder 0 Grad.
I kind of wish we didn't have this fat torpedo. Now up in the top right we have the IIILegend, which is a stopwatch that was originally designed to be utilized to actually hunt U-boats by destroyer crews. However, one of these stopwatches was found aboard U-505. So it leads me to believe that, I mean, this was a tool in the toolbox that submarine skippers and crews could and would utilize if needed. There's been a hot debate in the subsim community about this particular stopwatch, whether it was used, whether it was not. I think the fact that it was found on U-505 is pretty good evidence. It was found out that this was used by destroyer crews, and then all of a sudden a lot of folks thought, well, that means it couldn't have been used by submarine crews. And no, I don't think that's the case. But regardless, we're going to use it. If you didn't want to use it, you can just switch the chronometer face, which is pretty cool. Regardless, we are going to time this ship. We know she has a length of 140 meters. At 140 meters, we are going to use this red scale, this 150 meter scale. I do believe the convoy is going at a speed of 7 knots, but we cannot be sure. Mark. Okay, we got 7.5 here. 7.5. Now what we can do to double check that is go over to the attack scope and bring up the RFAOB wheel that we are all very, very familiar with. Let's bring this up as well. We got 40 seconds here. We are going to bring that 40 all the way to the ship's length, which is 140. And there we go, 7 knots. Perfect. Okay, 7 knots. I like it. We're going to hold off. We're going to go after this ship out here. Lock on target. C2 cargo. Range the target. We're getting 50 centiradians. 50 target length here. Or target height, 30 meters. Okay, so 50, 32.2. Probably a little bit closer. Let's head over to the TDC and begin plugging stuff in here. So we want to flip that on. Ship speed 7. Angle on bow. I'm going to go with 70 degrees to starboard at this moment in time. And distance 2 kilometers. Fantastic. We are going to fire off tube 4 at that ship. Select tube 4. Magnetic pistol, draft 6 meters. Okay, 6 meters set. If we did want to bring up the dials here, we can also bring them up right here using this panel. Okay, draft is 8.5 meters. We will set it to 9. Fantastic. Runtime 2 minutes. Angle on bow. I kind of like where we have it. Let's make a micro adjustment here. 75 set. Track. There we go. We want to fire at her first, and then we'll fire at this tanker, which is nice and close. Anything else back here worth shooting at? Anything right behind us? I do have my attack scope up. I need to lower that. We do have that ship right behind us. Oh, look at that. We are not going to fire at that. Could fire at something kind of distant, though. We have our targets. Alright, lock. Open tube 4.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Gyro angle 5 degrees for this torpedo. Tube 4. Los.
Los, Hahn ist im Wasser.
Okay, tube 4 is away. Do I want to fire another one? Not particularly. Lock on target here. Come left.
Herr Kaloin. Ruder hart, Backbord.
Actually, rudder amidships, rudder amidships.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Ruder 0 Grad.
Tube 1 selected. Angle on bow should already be there. Yep, automatically adjusting. 50 degrees to starboard. You know what? I can kind of buy that. Large tanker. What's her draft? 9 meters. Set it to 10. Open tube
Jawohl,
1.
Herr Kaloin.
Open tube 2. Hard to port.
Herr Kaloin. Ruder hart, Backbord.
We have about a minute left till our other torpedo hits that target. Okay. Rudder amidships.
Herr Kaloin.
Ruder 0 Grad.
Tube 1 selected. Magnetic. Good, good, good. Tube 1. Los. Tube 2.
Los, Hahn ist im Wasser.
Los. Hit them.
Hahn ist im Wasser.
Good. Hit the target. She's going down. Fantastic. 2 torpedoes heading towards that tanker. Lower the scope. And do I have anything right behind me that's worth firing at? Yeah, this guy. Actually, you know what? We're going to hold off. They're probably all zigzagging. We need to see if we hit this tanker. Impact. Good. One hit it right in the bow. Any other hits? Okay, we may have only gotten one there. The other one probably went forward, but there we go. C3 cargo up in flames. One hit to this tanker's bow. Probably too close to fire again. Downscope. Start moving.
Herr Kaloin.
Derzeitige
Let's start
Fahrt
moving a little
4
quicker
Knoten.
here. I'm wondering, bow torpedo room. Begin reload, secure from silent
Herr
running.
Kaloin.
See what we can do. We are in the process of reloading. It's going to take 6 minutes to get that done. Torpedo just exploded. You know what? It could have been a dud. That might have been a dud. That's very possible. That's what happened there. It just exploded, which is strange. Upscope. We do have tube 3. Where's... Okay, C3 cargo fires building on that ship. Tanker. Might be kind of low in the water. Hard to tell. And then we have this ship right behind us. Tube 5. Select it. What do we have in tube number 5? G7E. Alright. Oh. C3 cargo. That angle on bow is not good. Probably best just to disengage at this point. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Down to 60. We know their general course. We know generally what they're doing. We can always re-engage later. Okay, drop down. Let's take a look. C2 cargo, 8,000 tons, sent down to the bottom on May 8th, 1943. That tanker might be taking on water at this point. She could possibly sink. We did hit her with a magnetic, so it's going to be some pretty serious damage up there in the bow of the ship. We just got the report. The second ship is going down to the bottom. The tanker is sinking. U-960 still finds herself in the middle of the convoy, but is slowly trying to lurk away. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment, especially on the very first video of a brand new series. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. This is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I'll see you all on the next one.